like a diamond every time you're smiling back at me. In my sky, the only star I see, never in forever could I ever measure what this could be. So why don't you come closer to me? Feel my heartbeat. In my arms is where you will find all of the answers to the questions that are racing through your mind. Love, like the air we breathe. Love is all I have to give. Love, like the air we breathe. Love is all I have to give. Said it's all I have to give. All I have to give. Said it's all I have to give. Moments lived inside a kiss we share. Picture painted perfect. Don't you go away from me. You're my rhythm, you're my beat. You're the soul in my music. So baby, won't you come closer to me? Feel my heartbeat. In my arms is where you will find the answers to the questions that are racing through your mind. Come closer to me. Feel my heartbeat. In my arms is
Hi everybody. Hi guys. A very good morning to everyone. And if you're in Johannesburg, guys, know that yay, kushubile. The way it's so cold. It is so cold. Like I can't believe it. I had to take out my dad's jacket from the cupboard. Ngendlela nje ekubanda ngayo. It is so cold, guys. But nonetheless, we carry on, and it's a Tuesday. And no matter what time it is, Tuesdays are for hashtag lockdown jams. And today we're supposed to start at 11. Unfortunately, we couldn't due to a few technical issues, but we are here now, and it's going to be a great one. It's going to be a very fantastic one. I just want to pass through this message that if you are a musician in the industry and you've kind of recently taken out a body of work or anything that you would like for people to know, maybe you dropped a single, an album, whatever it is, you can just send us a DM on all our social media platforms telling us about your body of work, obviously the artwork as well, so that we may advertise it here on our show, hashtag lockdown jams. So just DM us at Makalela Music on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter. So today, I've got, even before we start, another very important message is that it is still the month of August. It is still the month of women. It is Women's Month. Let us not forget that. Let us treat it as such as well, and let us respect our women. Let us protect our women, but Nati as women also, let's play our role as responsible women and as women that are building a brighter future for the women of the next generation, So having said that, let's get straight to today's guest. Obviously, you've seen throughout our social media platforms that today we've got a very talented, multi-talented young man by the name of Clint Brink. We've seen his face on soapies like Backstage, Rockville, Binnelanders, Scandal. Guys, he's literally been everywhere. But today, it's definitely not that kind of party. We're only talking to him about his music and about his journey in music. And so I'm restricting you about asking any questions about his acting career or whatever, because today he is Clint Brink, the musician. not the actor. Okay? So, without having waiting a long time, let us bring him on. Let's see. Hi, Clint.
What's up, Scones? How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. And like you said, it is a bit chilly in Joburg. I feel it, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm
But
so
it's been good.
excited. I'm so excited to have you. Can I just let you know why? I know that I just restricted everyone from talking about your acting career, but
Yeah.
listen, from a young age, I've always wanted to be in the entertainment industry, and I wanted to go to a school like backstage, like you know how you guys were just cool and like everything was just like great. I was just like, you know what? I'll be that person. I'm gonna go to that school and I'm gonna meet people like Clint. Anyway,
Yeah, I think we all felt like that, man. I wish I went to a school like that.
yeah, but anyway, let's carry on with our interview. As I said, we're talking about your music. Who is Clint Brink? Where is he from? Where did this music thing kind of start off? Just tell us more about that.
So I'm from the Western Cape, a place called Paul. It's a little town. And yeah, music started for me at the same time that acting started for me, from a very young age.
Yeah.
I started singing in the school choirs in primary school. In fact, my story, I would say my entire musical journey is a journey that speaks of hope and that speaks of, the underdog.
Yeah.
Because I remember in the second grade, in like when you in creche or whatever, if you
Yeah.
go to
Yeah.
little people school, right?
Yeah.
They make you do the nativity play and Joseph and Mary and some other trees and whatever and so on. And that was my first taste of the stage, obviously. But when I got into primary school, I think I was in the second grade. Uh, and they had the school choir performing and they put on a big show at school, and I was supposed to be they had the baker man and whatever,
Yeah.
and so you sing
Yeah.
your little lines and then you do your little things on stage, and I was
Yeah.
supposed to be the baker man, right? But they told me you can be on stage, you can be a part of the show, just don't sing. So, so I was this little, so I was this little 5, 6-year-old kid who did all of the gestures but never sang, right? And then I would say in grade 4, um, one of the lecturers from the Paul Wellington Regional Choir came through and auditioned people at all of the different schools to see if they can form part of this big body, this choir body. And I went to try out, and I remember the music teacher said, "I don't think you should give him a go. I don't think he's musically inclined." And then the teacher said, "No, no, no, it's fine. I just want to hear him anyway." And I
Yeah.
sang and I auditioned, and he said, "No, I'll definitely take him. He's just young. He needs a little bit more experience and a little bit more time to get into this, because I went to school at the age of 4. So everyone was always 2 years older than I was. So
Yeah, you were pretty eager there.
yeah, developed after them.
Mm.
So that's how it kind of like started for me. I started singing in school choirs, and when you're part of a school body or choir body, you're still part of a group, a collective. So
Yeah.
I didn't really know who I was as a musician yet. I was still just absorbing and taking everything in. And then yeah, we traveled everywhere. I gained more experience. I started understanding how arrangement works, because you have to sing in your vocal range and where you
Yeah.
are moving, whatever,
Yeah.
and then harmony, and that I started learning that from a young age, and also because I started playing piano at the age of 7 or 8, kind of like helped spur that on. But then when I got to high school, there's a lot of different elements that kick in. Firstly, my musical taste started changing. I started listening to a lot more a cappella groups, 90s R&B. I grew up because my parents were big fans of Donny Hathaway, Stevie Wonder, Earth, Wind and Fire, The Main Ingredient, and then a lot of different other eclectic sounds as well. Queen, ABBA, just like different sounds.
Yeah.
And then when I got into school, high school, now there's girls. There's,
Mm.
I need to, my identity needs to start forming, and how do I really,
Yes.
what makes me me?
Mm.
And because I've done the acting thing from grade one all the way through to tertiary, and obviously it ended up being the bulk of my career that I've been putting out. Um,
Mm.
we started forming an a cappella group in high school, and we were about nine kids. And
Mm.
most of my friends and we come from troubled backgrounds, single parent households,
Yeah.
and the areas that we grew up in, it was rough, man.
Mm.
A lot of
Mm.
kids don't make it to school or from school.
Mm.
Things happen.
Mm.
People get stabbed, people get shot, people get accosted. People have been raped. So
Yeah.
it's pretty heavy growing up in that environment. And the thing with being, I would say, coming from a colored neighborhood, there are also other external pressures.
Mm.
We live in a country where we've gone through so many diversities and changes, and
Yes.
we
Yes.
obviously know the history and the forming of our country. But
Mm.
coming from a colored neighborhood, the funny thing is there was always this feeling that you'll never get anywhere, you'll never become
Mm.
anyone, you'll only remain in this little town that you grew up in, and that's all you will be. But
Mm.
it's funny how people in those circumstances have extraordinary abilities.
Yeah.
We've got super sportsmen, super people, actors, musicians, and whatever.
Mm.
The reason why I'm saying this is because music then not just became an outlet because it was our passion, it also became something that kind of like became our saving grace to keep you off the
Yeah.
street, to give you
Yeah.
something to work toward to, and to make something of yourself.
Mm.
And now we are young boys, young men, we're singing together. And I started out as an arranger first because
Mm.
I had friends who were super talented, man. I would say in grade eight or from about grade 8, 9, 10. These
Mm-hmm.
boys were sounding like Wanye Morris and singing all of those things note for
Yeah.
note, with no formal training and nothing, just raw talent. And I was just shocked
Mm.
because these guys are sounding exactly like the record. And
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
still lagging behind. Still, my voice broke late. Don't know what I sound like. I don't sound like anyone else around me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I opted to work out the voices for everyone first. I did all of the arrangement. I
Mm.
would listen to the harmony and say, you sing this, you sing that, you sing that, and then we work together. And
Mm.
to be 100% honest with you, and this is a
Yeah.
story that no one really knows. I remember I walked home from school. I was about grade 9, yeah, and I tried to
Yeah.
sing a Brian McKnight song, right? And I
Right.
just failed. I failed terribly. I just
I can't
failed,
even
man.
imagine that.
You know, because Brian McKnight, I try to emulate his tone. I try to sing the way that he sings, and I just went like this, bro. And and I remember walking home 14, 15 years old, and I was crying. I was so frustrated and heartbroken because I had so much
Mm.
love for music, but
Mm.
now I don't have the ability to go along with it. Then,
Yeah.
um, so I walk home and I'm pulling my school bag behind down the road crying, and people are probably, what's happening with this kid, some
Yeah.
poor ass
Yeah.
kid. And on my way home, before I got home, I remember I prayed and I said, Lord, man, if you, why give me so much love for something and not have me do it? Then I
Mm.
don't want it. Then just take everything. I don't want it.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Exactly.
feel it. I don't want to feel it anymore. I don't want anything to do with it.
Mm.
Or let's make a deal. And I said, give me the ability to do this thing that I love. And
Mhm.
whenever people hear me do it and they hear my ability, I will say that it came from you. And
Oh wow.
I went to bed. I swear, I went to bed and I took a nap. And I woke up a little bit later. My mom was like, "Listen, your friend Kurt called the house, and you need to call him back. So I called him back, and he said, listen, dude, have you listened? When's the last time you listened to Stevie Wonder? And by this time I'm in high school now. You know, you don't want to listen to Stevie Wonder. You want to listen to what's hip and what's happening.
Yes.
And I said, no, I haven't listened to it in a while. He said, go check out a song called Ribbon in the Sky. So I was like, okay. I checked out Ribbon in the Sky. I sat behind the piano. I figured out the basic chord structure then. And I sang along to the song. And I nailed it. You know, I nailed it note for note. And I was like, this is weird, because like an hour ago, I came back from school. I tried to sing a Brian McKnight song, and I couldn't nail it. And now I'm nailing a Stevie Wonder song.
Yeah.
And then it registered. I was like, yo, but God can't work this fast. Is this for real? Like, I just asked for it, and I got it same
And
day.
now I have it.
Now.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, that's kind of like been my story. So I went into music a little bit further after that, you know, just trying to etch out what my sound is like, who I sound like, and why I sound the way I sound. And obviously after high school, went to university. When I did my first acting audition for the university, I felt like I just wanted to show them that I have versatility. So I sat down behind the piano, and the first song that I performed live in front of an audience with the piano and vocals was a Babyface song. When Can I See You Again? I remember. And I did Michael Jackson's She's Out of My Life as well. And that just sent the whole university. People were just like, what? Who is this dude?
Yeah.
And that's kind of like where it started for me, you know?
But I mean, having known that you're talented in more ways than one, you can act, you can sing, there's a lot more other things that you've discovered about yourself while you were growing up. Was it like a strategic move to kind of do the acting thing first and become something, and then focus on the music, or you were doing both and acting just kind of rose on its own? What was the deal there?
So acting was always on the forefront for me, you know. I was pretty shy about my musical abilities because the funny thing is, I don't know how people really perceive me or how they perceive people in the entertainment industry, but what everyone sees on the outside is just my passion, my love in action for what I do, you know. There were many times in my career and many times when I started out, I never really felt super confident in me being the best at anything. In fact, I thank God that I never really had that arrogance, because it kept me humble and it kept me working hard. And I think that's what kind of like set me apart from a lot of other people around me. While they were openly boasting, I was quietly working hard and just refining and just let the work speak for itself. You know, I was never someone to mouth off about what I do. So I didn't want the music thing to happen at the same time as the acting thing for me, because I needed to give each category its space to be independent and to really refine it. Because I studied to become an actor, I didn't just want to also feel like just because I have musical ability, I should go out there and do it now. It was never that for me. Because remember, growing up in Cape Town, for me, the musicians around me, 15, 16 years old, these are guys that decided to drop out from school to become full-time musicians and play hard jazz, bebop, play for bands and make a living like that, you know. So my competition were people who were maybe a year or 2 years older than me, but had way more experience in performance and actually doing the thing than I was. And also because I gravitate toward people who are composers, producers, arrangers, songwriters, and singers all in one. I also wanted to be something like that. So I needed to give myself a little bit more time to become that. So acting was just the first window of opportunity that opened up for me. And when I got to backstage, they wanted my character to just be a film student. And I remember, I think within my first 2 months being at backstage, they brought in a piano for some of the music students. And I sat behind the piano and I played and I sang, and they were like, we didn't know that you did music. And I was like, well, I didn't want to say it really. And then they moved my character Sean from being a film student to a film and music student.
Yeah.
And that's also where I got to meet one of my first musical mentors, who is, in my opinion, one of the best jazz bassists to come out of South Africa, Musa Manzini. And you know, Musa took me under his wing. He showed me how you put music together and how you produce things and how you layer different sounds.
Mm.
And he also gave me an opportunity to just discover who I was, you know,
Yeah.
um, how to become a songwriter, how I write, what works with my vocal range, you know, how I should
Mm.
compose, what would work for me. And that's kind of like where the, I would say, the professional side of the music industry kickstarted for me.
Mm. And I mean, I'm going to make it a bit personal now.
Yeah,
Having gone into the industry at a very young age, I think you were about 19 years when you went on to
yeah,
backstage. You're still a teenager, you know, and you faced something incredibly life changing. You had a car accident with your then girlfriend, and
mhm,
unfortunately, she didn't make it, but you did.
mm.
How did you even? I can't imagine how you came out of that. How did you come out of that? In a positive way, and does this in any way kind of influence anything about your music, your writing, or how did that space and that time play a role in your life, in your career?
Yeah. Well, that was for me. You know, it was a pivotal point in my life, because it could have been the end of me completely.
Yeah.
And I remember Marabini used to say to me all the time. She was like, "Dude, you need to do music. You
Yeah.
have to do music or write songs, sing." I was just like,
Mhm.
"No, man, I'm shy. I don't know. I just don't feel 100% confident about it."
Yeah.
And she was just like, "Do it, just do it." And you know, after she passed away, it was a really rough time for me and my family. And
Mm.
funny enough, I mean, if you go back and you check out my history throughout the 21 years in my career, you've never heard me speak about it really. You've never
Yeah.
seen me go out and promote anything about it. I've
Mm.
never gone out and um, capitalized off that moment to build
Yeah.
myself. For
Yeah.
me, it was never about that. In fact, the entertainment industry was never about what I could gain from it, but rather when I entered the entertainment industry, my the biggest question, or the biggest thing that I wanted to fulfill, was to say, okay, if I'm going to form part of a legacy in South Africa, what can Clint Brink contribute toward it? You
Mm.
know, what can I do and say, in my capacity, I was able to contribute something to leave it in a better position or in a better space than what I found it, you know.
Yeah.
And when the car accident happened, I remember shortly afterward, just could when I could walk properly, because I was also injured,
Mm.
I went to the piano and I wrote a song immediately, a song that I recorded a demo called Someday, and
Mm.
I haven't put it out. I didn't put it out. It's not on an album. I think it might be on my SoundCloud somewhere. A song called Someday, and
Mhm.
it's a song that I obviously dedicated to Marabini.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I've always been very private about my personal life. It's
Yeah.
not something that
Yeah.
I really put out there. Um, it's not something that I feel like I need to use to build a career for myself. You know,
Mm.
my work was always the integrity and the quality of my work was supposed to be
Mm.
the representation of what I am. But
Mm.
if that didn't happen um, early on in my life, I think all of the other hardships that came after that would have completely broke me, because then I found out how things really work in the entertainment industry, and how much bias and lies and favoritism and, hey man, it's classism, it's racism, it's
Yeah.
everything. There's a lot of things,
Yeah.
and it's uncontrollable, because it's stuff that's hidden inside people that you don't know about, but you face the repercussions of those hidden
Mm.
things.
Mm.
And then it
Mm.
leaves you feeling, hey, but is it something that I'm not doing properly? Am I not
Mm.
networking properly? And then I
Yeah.
also realized, but networking doesn't necessarily mean that you need to sell your soul. That's not networking. That's just selling yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
through that, I think the turning point for me within that space was, I was, to cope with everything, I was drinking every day. I woke up and I drank till I passed out, went back to sleep. And,
Mm.
my family were also heartbroken because, Marabini spent time at the house with all of us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everyone got to know her and really got to love her.
Mm.
Um, I think I got into my car one day after I think I finished like maybe a bottle and a half of Jack Daniels by myself. And
Phew.
I just had no more hope, man. I had no way of emotionally getting through that time. It
Yeah.
was it was impossible for me. And I
Mm.
got into the car, and just as I started the car, and I was completely busted up, I got a message from my sister, my baby sister, and my baby sister Vicky said, um, she's having a hard time dealing with all of this. She can't imagine what I must be going through.
Mm.
And the last part of the message said, um, "Look, if you won't make it through this, I don't know how the rest of us will."
Yo.
And that made me stop right there.
Yeah.
I just told myself, I stopped right there. I said, "Look, God wanted things to work out the way it did. Fate had it work out the way it did. I can now choose to see this as the end of me, or I can go, okay, all I need to do is just get through the next minute, and
Yes.
then the next hour, and
Mm.
then the next day,
Mm.
and then the next week." And that's how I took it. And I really learned a lot from that. I learned a lot about myself. I really learned. It gave me a very realistic perspective on life, on the time that we have, on how valuable life is, and the relationships that we have, and
Yeah.
our reason for being here. And
Mm.
I find like we place so much emphasis on the life. Well, let me put it like this: on what we see, right? What we see and what we experience, and we think that
Mm.
that is all that life is about.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I believe that we are also placed here to touch others and to move others and to inspire others and to free others and to really release them from whatever bondage they might be in. And
Yeah.
your life might be meant for 100,000 other people to do better than only for you to constantly feel like, okay, I've got the house that I want now, I've got the career that I want, I've got the thing. It's more than just you. And that's what I took from it. I was like, hey, life is about being impactful, and I'm thankful for those lessons.
Mm. And I mean, I have to agree with you. There's a point that you touched on now that you didn't kind of use that experience to your advantage, sort of, and you just
Yeah.
let your work talk for itself. So let's hear some music then.
Okay, cool. I think the first song that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna mix it up a little bit, do a
Yeah.
piece of my own and then do a piece of an artist that I appreciate as well. So the first song that I'm gonna do now, my song is called "Let It Flow." Um,
Mhm.
I love the message of the song. It's plain and simple, it just talks about, the chorus says, "You're free to believe, because you are the key to your own destiny." And
Mm.
the first version of the song I actually recorded with Euphonic, and I went in the studio, and I think it took me like 30 minutes, and I laid down the full song.
Oh,
But
wow.
yeah, this is the other thing that I'm really fortunate to have, is that, um, being in an acting space, and especially if you work on a soapy, you're allocated time to finish a scene. So you have to
Mm.
emotionally get into it. You have to deliver all of the emotional moments and marks to hit,
Mm.
so that people can feel it and they can really connect with you. So
Yeah.
when I go into studio and record a song, because I've learned to be efficient so often, I don't really
Mm.
have to take 3 days to
Mm.
record a song unless I want to tweak things. So I've learned to be
Ooh.
efficient. I've been
Lala,
fortunate.
what's it? One take wonder.
Yeah. Okay, let's see how it goes.
Right, cool.
Ready? Can you hear me? Dance like there's no one there to see. Love like it's your last day to breathe. Forget your past and your mistakes. Life is a chance we all must take. You're free to believe. You are the key to your own destiny. Just let go and let it flow. It'll all be okay. Tomorrow's not always on the cards, so don't give up on who you are. We all exist under the sun. Love has a place for everyone. Yeah, you're free to believe. You are the key to your own destiny. Just let go and let it flow. It'll all be okay. Never thought that we would ever be more than friends. Now I'm more confused, 'cause for you I have deeper feelings. Both thought it was cool to cross the line. I was convinced it would be alright. Now things have changed, nothing's the same. And really I just, and my mind's gonna have crazy, 'cause I can't leave you alone. And my mind's gonna have crazy, 'cause I'm out here on my own. And my mind's gonna have crazy, 'cause I can't leave, can't get you out of my system, yeah. Oh, no, no, yeah, yeah.
Yes. That was really beautiful, by the way. I can see my people, they are really enjoying you. There's a lot of comments, but we'll get to them after this. So now, what's going to happen when I Clint? This is called Guess the Song, okay? So I'm going to play you a video. It's either it's in slow motion or it's playing in reverse.
Yeah.
And you need to guess the song and the artist. Okay?
Oh my goodness. Okay.
If I'll give you a few hints if you're kind of struggling to get it, okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna be struggling a lot.
Disclaimer. Okay, let's see what I should start with. Did you get that?
No. I had to tap on the thingy for the sound, and I tapped it late.
Okay, let me play it again, and let's see if you get it.
What song is this that Loiso did, man?
Okay, you've got the artist right.
Yeah, I've got the artist right. I couldn't make out the song.
You can't make out the song. You can try sing
Yeah.
it, or like if you know the title, or
Yeah,
you just are
I'm
you quitting?
lost. I'm quitting.
Okay, so the song you're looking for is Loyiso Daliwamgi Agutanda, and I'm gonna play it for
Come
you.
on,
I'm gonna
man.
play it for you.
And can't you see your yummy young care? Zongo tana site solo pale. Minna nawe.
There we go. So that was the
That's
song that
awesome.
you're looking for.
That's awesome, man.
Okay.
I'll tell you a story.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So Loiso was obviously one of the first artists that came to perform on Backstage as well, you know. And
Yeah.
I remember when I got to meet him, I was guy did Fiasco with TKZ Family, you know. Now then he released the EP with Musugu Kala on it and a Girl Without a Name, you know, all of those things. And I really thought that this guy is, you know, he's gonna be one of the South Africa's next big superstars. And I remember I went up to him and I said, "Yo, dude, I just want to have an opportunity to spend some time and play some music for you, if that's okay with you."
Yeah.
And I was in the studio when you recorded the Amplified album, and he did one of the tracks called Jeeps as well. So Loiso is definitely, I respect him, hardworking guy, has always been humble about what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fantastic to hear. I hope you get the next one right. At least if you don't get it right, have a story for us as well. Okay. All right, let me play it.
Okay.
And
Donald.
yes.
What's the song that I heard the song also before, man?
I'll play it again for you.
Yeah. What is the song's name, man? I'm stuck now.
Let's see. Okay, let me play you the correct version. So you were looking for Donald in Denial.
Girl, I love you so.
Yeah.
He did really well for himself, man. Don, I remember I was supposed to go into studio. Actually, the one song that I have on the EP with the Sequence Band, right? The Way I Do, is actually a song that I wrote for Donald. And
interesting.
I went into studio and he was recording with a guy called Steven for Sticktainment. And I went into studio and I did the song, and I laid down the first verse and the chorus for him, and his rep, or the person that was handling him from his record label, came in and she heard the song, and immediately after that I was no longer part of the project. He said, unfortunately, he doesn't want to do a song with another male artist. It would be better if it does it with a female artist. And I also understand, record label politics. Dude, don't get another guy on your album that sings, that can really sing and do something.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah.
But Donald I also met him. Shona Ferguson invited us to, when he renewed his vows with Kanye one year. And Don was there, and Don performed as well. And I was really inspired by Don's story. His first album that didn't really blow up much, and I think he did it with Cleo, was his first album. And then evolved, and from there on, just success, song after song after song. it's nice for me to see a guy that works hard, that puts himself out there, and then found his niche. Because in South Africa, it's because we have so much diversity, right? And
Mm.
what we are able to listen to, so many different languages, so many different
Yeah.
textures within the music. We're really spoiled for choice.
Yeah.
It's also difficult to really etch out and have take a bite out of the country and say, that was
Mm.
my time. I was that artist.
Mm.
Like Live Matosa took a big bite out of South Africa, and
Yeah.
everyone knows who Live Matosa is.
Yeah.
And I feel as a male R&B house soulful vocalist and artist, Don can definitely say that for the last 8 years, he's been hitting the charts really hard, So
Yeah,
big
definitely.
ups to him.
Definitely. I mean, you see, you're doing very well with the stories. I'm very happy with that.
Hey man,
But yeah, the videos, you're still slacking. So I'm gonna play you one last video.
Okay, cool. Here we go.
Please redeem yourself. Like, please redeem yourself.
Jehovah help me.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna give you a clue.
There was like a big banner on the video saying that my mic is not working while the video was playing, so I can't really see much.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wait, let me try play it again. Why is this thing sabotaging you? Is it still not happening?
Yeah, no, there's like a thingy, like a banner that comes up and says your mic is muted while the video is playing. I don't know. I couldn't check it out.
That is very, very awkward.
Maybe it knew that I was gonna fail epically.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, okay, Clint, now you're lying. There's no banner or whatever. You're just trying to run.
Like right in the middle of the frame.
But anyway, this is one of the artists that when I asked you, one of your favorite artists or 5 of your favorite artists, he was on that list. Let me just play the correct track. So that was Sun EL musician featuring Ami Faku. And I personally really like that song. I'm just really sad that you didn't get any song right.
Yes.
How do you feel about yourself?
I feel really bad about myself, but I also understand, You see the difficult thing. I'll tell you honest thing is, because working in the entertainment industry has perks, but it also has a lot of downsides. And the downsides is that I never get to watch TV really. I work from 7 to 7.
You watch yourself.
In the beginning, I did just to see what mistakes I made and where I can refine myself. But now I don't really, unless there's some learning that I need to get from it. But I hardly have a chance. So, working Monday to Friday, or even now Mondays to Saturdays, 7 to 7 at times.
Yeah.
Then needing to be a musician after hours, I hardly really have time to really get into what's happening on TV and really follow the people who I really admire and the people who I support. I don't get to follow their careers as diligently as I would like to,
I feel you. Let's just quickly go to the comments and see what the people have to say about you. We have got Pumelela Mbuto. I think she's just reiterating what you said. You are your key to your own destiny. We've also got a Mr. Creme de la Creme saying, would you leave acting and focus on music 100%?
Creme de la Creme. Yeah,
Mhm.
that question has come up for me a lot of times, within myself. And
Yeah.
I think I am moving into that space now where music will definitely be on the forefront for what I want to
Mhm.
do, simply because it's a different way of telling a message,
Yeah.
or relaying a message and telling a story. And
Mm.
no disrespect to what's happening in South Africa currently, but being on TV and having done films and TV work for 21 years, there's not really a lot that I'm going to learn. Soap is a soap is a soapy. The format's the same. The way that I interpret the character might be slightly different, but I still work with directors who still get feedback from producers, who still get feedback from focus groups, who still want to push their own agenda, and who own the copyright to everything. So even you
Mm.
being an individual and wanting to contribute towards something, you're very limited. So I found like within the acting sphere, the challenge for me was always to make sure that I stay fresh within having limitations and parameters. How can I still stand out with not being able to move as much? And it's a difficult thing to do.
Mhm.
Fortunately, I feel like I've been successful. Um, but yeah, where I'm headed now and the stories that I want to tell and how I want to connect with people will involve music a lot more. That's why I'm
Yeah.
working on a completely new body of work. I've already spoken to a few international people
Mhm.
who have shown interest to be a
Mhm.
part of it, and I don't really want to say much about it now.
Yeah.
But it's really dear to my heart. In fact, it'll be part of my testimony, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, these comments are really just wow, hey. There's comments about your work and serious stuff, and now the ladies are just going crazy. And I just want to attend to some of these comments. I won't even read out who wrote it or what's happening,
Yeah.
but there's stuff like, yeah, Clint is very hot, Clint is very this and that. Is he single and looking? No, he's not. He's not single, number one, and he's not looking.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's just all keep our panties on. But yeah, let's go to another song.
Okay, 100%. Well, seeing that it is Women's Month,
Yeah.
and just to attend to some of the comments and stuff that I really appreciate. Thank you very much. Hopefully, I can do a little bit something for you now with the next song.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, yeah. Never seen a sunshine like this. Never seen a moon glow like this. Never seen a waterfall like this. Never seen the lights off like this. Never dug anyone like this. Never had tasty lips to kiss. I never had someone to miss. I never heard a song quite like this. Unfortunate to have you, girl. I'm so glad you're in my world. Just as sure as the sky is blue, I bless the day that I found you. Never had room service all night. Never took a trip first class flight. Never had a love affair so tight. I've never felt the feeling so right. Never seen a winter so white. Never had words to recite. never had a flame to ignite, and I've never sang a song with all my might. Oh, 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 no, oh. I'm so ecstatic, baby. Yeah, 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 yeah. Said I'm fortunate to have you, girl. I'm so glad you're in my world. Just as short as the sky is blue, I bless the day that I found you, yeah. Oh, no, no, okay.
And as one of the women in South Africa, I must say, I feel attended to. And thank you. I'm pretty sure everybody else feels attended to and pretty special at this point.
The very least I could do. The very least I could do.
Let's talk about future projects. I mean, you've been such a busy bee in your career. And even though we know you as an actor, you have worked with the likes of Euphonic, RJ Benjamin, Notende. The list is really long. Anything that we can look forward to in the future, collabs, anything that's coming up?
So like I said, so far, with this new project that I'm endeavoring, it's something really, really personal to me. It'll take everything that I'm doing in my life into a completely different direction.
Yeah.
And it's really just, in short, it's really just to thank God for looking after me and for blessing me and for protecting me. And you know, because we don't know everyone's story, and it's so difficult being in the media industry as well, because you know, people only get to know you by what they see on TV or what they read in the magazine, and they don't really understand the full truth. And media can blow things up and paint you a certain way. And also, being an artist, whatever you put out there, the tough thing about art is that it's subjective. So whoever interprets it their way, whether they feel good about it. One person might love what you do, and the next person might hate exactly what you're doing, you know. And I just found, like, for where I come from and what I represent and how I started and what my journey was like, it's nearly impossible for me to say that I have been able to work in the entertainment industry consistently for 21 years straight, by my own hands and by my own efforts, you know.
Absolutely.
God's really been good, and I've always been favored. I've always been promoted in times of drought. When other people are struggling, they're hot today and they're gone tomorrow. I've kind of like just been consistent and been able to just you know, just have a positive experience in the entertainment industry. So
Absolutely.
my next project is just to give back and give thanks, and really just offer some perspective on who I am and why I do what I do.
I mean, it's really great to hear that you're also just very thankful, because one would think that as celebrities and public figures, you guys kind of have big heads, for lack of a better word. But it's really refreshing to hear someone say that it's not by their own doing, you know. And I know we've got different beliefs in South Africa and different faiths, but it's really refreshing to hear someone boldly say that it's not by my own doing, you know. So that's really, I'm happy about that answer. Something I almost forgot. Clint, we are G-Mane, like your body and your wife's bodies are just goals, you know. Like when I picture like what I would, you know, like just take me through that whole space. What is it about? You guys are very consistent as well, you know? Talk to me about that.
So I think it started, well, obviously I had a couple of issues being a, let me bring out the stereotype from the colored personality. I had some anger issues when I was a little bit younger, and it probably just stemmed from the fact that I either didn't know how to express myself very well. I was very passionate about certain things, and like we all are, we are touchy about a few things, and I was specifically touchy about not being allowed what I feel is my destiny. If I felt like people took an opportunity away from me or disallowed me from participating in something that could potentially move me forward, and then I feel I can be a contributing factor in it, I would not take that lightly. It would
Yeah.
upset
Yeah.
me. and
Yeah.
because and because when I was younger, I was a guy who just used to bottle everything up. I never used to talk about it. So one day I would just explode, and then it would be the
Yeah.
worst ever. So then I went into the martial arts, and I did Thai boxing, and that taught me a lot because I got my ass kicked a lot. and that
Mm.
and that taught me super humility. I was like, but anger in the sport means nothing.
Yeah.
You can be
Yeah.
aggressive in the way if you use it as a strategy, but if you're angry to intimidate someone within the realms and scope of something that actually where this person is also trained to defend themselves against
Mm.
you,
Mm.
anger
Mm.
just gets turned against you, and then you end up just failing. So that taught me a lot. I was like, okay. And it also taught me how to become comfortable with confrontation.
Yeah.
Because when we're prepping for a fight, you have to be okay with someone being in your space, hitting you in the
Sure.
body, hitting you in the face, and
Mm.
frustrating you. But the aim of sparring is to show you where your weak areas are. So through
Sure.
that suffering and the struggling, you actually end up becoming better, becoming sharper, becoming
Mm.
more aware,
Mm.
and it shows you your weaknesses. And with the acting side, or let me rather say with the creative side and the physical side marrying, that really boosted me and helped me to become a little bit more well-rounded.
Yeah.
Because you end up seeing certain things. Let me give you an example. um, I feel like a lot of people in the entertainment industry struggle a lot because they constantly exercise one way of living in one muscle, right?
Yeah.
We find so many artists, and we've seen it throughout the history in South Africa and America as well. When
Mm.
people are extremely, extremely gifted and super, super talented, 90% of the time, their personal lives are shit.
That is
You know,
true.
they've
Yeah.
got terrible relationships with their children and their
Hmm.
family members. They either become alcoholics or drug addicts,
Yes.
or they're just socially inept. They
Mm.
actually just become the artist. And the
Mm.
reason why, is I figured it out. It's because when you work in the internet, okay, say for instance, you come from a background where you never had a lot, but you had a gift.
Mm.
God's given you a gift, right? Now you
Mm.
have this gift, but that gift also comes along with challenges because nothing great
Sure.
can go uncontested. It's impossible. Because
Mm.
greatness also has to go through great difficulties to show how great the greatness is.
Yes.
So I find like people with amazing gifts usually have a tendency to fall into a certain snares, like when you are an actor, when you are a musician, when you're an artist, right?
Mm.
You deal with feeling constantly. Man, I'm
Mm.
not feeling this beat. I'm not feeling this verse. I'm not feeling
Mm.
how I sounded. I'm not feeling the
Mm.
moment. I can't
Mm.
really, I'm not feeling the line. I'm not feeling my co-star. I'm not feeling the script. I'm not feeling this character. Feeling,
Yeah.
right? Now, when you do well in that capacity, you get rewarded.
Hmm.
People will come and say, hey man, I love your character. Hey man, I love what you're doing. Hey man, I love your song. Then it becomes more. Then you start getting social favor and status by getting nominated for awards. So
Hmm.
it's starting to it starts programming people to say that, hey, but this thing that I do is giving me favor. And
Yeah.
because the mechanics of that thing forces me to feel constantly, and that's how I do it. A lot of these people, they take that same thing and that template, and they apply it to their ordinary lives with
Yeah.
other people. And
Mm.
then when they don't get that response, they become frustrated because, hey man,
Yes.
I'm a winner here in this. When I do this thing, I do it all the
Mm.
time. I do it like this, so I get favor from it. Why am I not getting favor? And then they become frustrated, and that's how I think it starts defeating themselves.
Yeah.
And the thing with the fitness thing is it gave me an anchor, because it's completely the opposite of feeling.
Yeah.
Whether a sports person and an athlete will tell you, whether I feel like I want to go run a 10K in the morning, my
Mm.
principles tell me that I need to do that thing if I want to have
Yeah.
success and I want to reach success. So
Mm.
I use that. I also use the training as a way and as an art form for me to not get sucked into the entertainment industry by believing your own hype.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
also didn't want to get to the point where I ever felt like, okay, I've been doing this for 21 years now. I feel like I'm the hot shit in every show that I do or
Yep.
wherever I go. I deliver
Mm.
all the time. Everyone
Mm.
tells me that I'm good. Everyone says that I'm great.
Mm.
I need to be some at the same time as I'm striving for perfection. My idea of what I feel perfection is for
Mm-hmm.
what I do. I need to have something on the counter in the counterbalance of that scale, so that I can still be the guy starting out in a different field where no one knows me and I've got
Yeah.
no favor and I
Yeah.
have to start at the bottom. So I
Yeah.
use that to constantly remind myself, because when I train, I die every time. I need to
Yeah.
do a workout so I can go flex and look a certain way. My
Mm.
wife is a pro athlete. All of her friends are pro athletes. So when I do certain types of training and I'm going to go train with SA sprinters, I'm the last guy. They kill me.
Yo. Yo. Yo.
The women team dust me. They're left behind.
Yeah.
Then when I've got to go do CrossFit, some of my friends they've been doing it for a long time. I fail. So
Mm.
I'm thankful for it, because it always tells me that there's always room for improvement. You always
Definitely.
have to work hard and also respect people, because it's not always about you winning constantly. Other people also must win. And you can
Mm.
also be in support
Yeah.
of them winning. Why just be the
Yeah.
only guy that wants to win all the time? And
Mm.
that's why I
Mm.
find like a lot of people in the entertainment industry, they fall into those traps. And
Mm.
once they, climb that ladder that high and then they fall down from there, they hardly ever get back up again.
Yeah. Yeah. The crash is it's they can't come back from that. You
Yeah.
know. Yeah, but anyway, it's really, really been lovely chatting to you, and we are slowly running out of time. But I still want to hear something else. Like I'd rather extend the time because I still want to hear you sing.
Okay. Let me see what I got for you.
Hmm.
Um, this is the first song that I released with my band Soulstone, and the song was called "Now That Your Love Has Gone." Just not the same girl since you upped and went away. Now I spend my time just writing songs of yesterday, all about denial, and it still won't make you stay here with me another day. Messed up, I wanna let you know, regret leads my dismay. Should have thought about it, knowing it would cause you pain. Now I wallow in the hurt I've caused you, knowing I will probably, cause I can't breathe. I need to move on, don't make believe a love gone wrong. Now that your love is gone, love is true in me. This now I
that your love is gone. Sometimes it feels like a mystic rain, yeah, that empty to my soul, yeah. It cools the fire that burns in me. I simply lose control. So, rain down on me. Let your love just fall like raindrops rain on me. Oh, rain down on me. Let your love just fall like raindrops rain on me.
Listen, you know what? Just out of curiosity, do you play any other instrument?
I do. I play a little bit of guitar and a little bit of bass.
I can see you. I can see you with the bass. Like it makes perfect sense. It makes so much sense. You know what? I'm gonna kind of detour Ganyane. Like the ladies are having a tough time here. So now there's a comment. The comment reads, does Clint have an uncle or an older brother who looks and sings just like him?
Well, unfortunately, it's just me and my family.
Oh my gosh. Actually, let me just ask this also out of curiosity. How have you dealt with, I mean, obviously, you've been cute throughout your entire life, you know, but now you even like more attractive with your body and, you know, and how have you dealt with the ladies giving you love and you can sing on top of that? Like, dude.
To be honest with you, I've always been flattered. You know, I never really I never really perceived myself as a hot dude or anything like that.
You don't have to be modest. You don't have to be modest.
No, I'm dead serious. I think I've always just been, yeah, man. I've always just been scared to believe any hype about myself, so I steer away from stuff like that. And also when it comes to the ladies and women specifically, I love women. I learn a lot from women. How I treat women and how I care for women and really the beauty and intricacies and just like the splendor and wonder I find within women, I learned through music, you know.
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder taught me how to speak to women and how to understand them by the way that he speaks to them. You know, it's always been poetic and gentle, and it's just very deep and what you can, you know, just the way that women love you. So yeah, you know, there's been instances where you know, when I performed and the shirt comes off and the R&B vibe,
Yes.
you know, there's been that, and I know what kind of reaction that kind of like got as well. But I also found that thank God I've never been anyone to you know, misuse my position or my influence, so to speak, because I also find that for many women, when they find someone who's a singer who has male energy and masculine energy, if you can be gentle and you can be strong at the same time, it's an anomaly. You don't really find it often, but that's actually what men are supposed to give, so that we can complement women, so that we can really enhance you and you can enhance us. I feel
Mm.
that women, and I say this about my wife also, women are king builders, they are king makers.
Yes.
And I wish so many of my brothers would just allow themselves to go through that process where, it's okay for you to listen to your wife or your girlfriend or a female's perspective. It's
Mm.
really okay for you, for them to take the lead, so that you can discover more about yourself, because once you get to that true essence, you will find the magic about yourself. So whenever women have approached me after a show, and they either are infatuated, or it's actually just a heightened sense of admiration.
Yeah.
And that for me is flattering. I really appreciate that, and I always reciprocate it, because
Mm.
women have been the bulk of my support base and have really moved me forward. And yeah, the songs that I write are love songs. It's about
Yeah.
women, it's for women. So
Mm.
yeah, I'm appreciative.
I mean, that's lovely. And, this comment was just really, really extremely funny for me because Kushubuti, this person really, really wants Clint Brink, but said, let's
Yeah,
talk about your new project again. I just want to talk more
yeah.
about collabos. How do people kind of connect with you to kind of, I want to do a song with Clint. I've written a song for Clint. What's the vibe there?
It's easy, man. I do my best to make time for everyone. You
Mm.
can DM me. You can go to all my social pages. If you're able to send me an email, whatever, reach out to me. If I'm able to find time and scroll through my phone and connect with you, I will definitely do that. I do my best to pay attention to everyone, because I know what it feels like being a young guy or a young girl out there who really wants to get somewhere.
Oh.
And I was that dude as well, where no one helped me. I had no mentors in the entertainment industry. I had no one really help me out. I had to learn the hard way and do everything by myself, and fail a lot of times, and you
Mm.
know feel isolated and alone. But now that I know what that feels like, I wouldn't want anyone else to journey through that. So just
Yeah.
reach out. If you can reach out, reach out.
Sure. Amazing. I mean, I really think we can squeeze in one last song, please.
Sure. What would you like to hear? What would you like?
You know what? You see, now you're putting me on the spot. There's so
It's
many
always
to
like this.
choose from. There's so much to
Okay.
choose from.
You told me that there's a song that you like. I can maybe do that
Yeah.
song.
Yeah, let's go with the song that I like. It is All I Have to
Have
Give.
to give. Yeah, for sure. What a beautiful surprise you are. You shine just like a diamond every time you smile back at me. In my sky, the only star I see, never in forever. Could I ever imagine what this could be? So why don't you come closer to me? Feel my heart beating. My arms is where you'll find all of the answers to the questions that are racing through your love, like the air we breathe. Said love is all I have to give. Love, like the air we breathe. stop making excuses when you know that things have changed. You don't love me like you used to when you say that I'm to blame. Don't be so cruel, I'm begging you. 'Cause I won't be a fool for loving you. Nobody's gonna love you like the way I do, the way I do. Nobody's gonna treat you right the way I do, like the way I do. Won't nobody hold you right, love to you through the night, make you say, yeah, yeah, yeah. Nobody's gonna love you like the way I do, like the way I do, babe. No, 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 no.
I feel very, very special. Guys, that was dedicated to me if y'all didn't know, because that's my song.
To you.
But thank you very much, Clint, for your time and spending the morning with us and just being who you are and welcoming us into your space as well, because I do believe that people have gotten to know you a bit better, especially as a musician, you know, and as a person in general. So it was fantastic hosting you, and yeah.
Gons, thank you so much. Thank you for your beautiful personality. Thank you for being a light. Thank you just for being bubbly, and really, really taking this opportunity to also showcase me and you know, what I stand for and what I represent. I'm really grateful and thankful.
Fantastic. So everybody, that was Clint Brink. He's really just such a great person. I thoroughly enjoyed being with him and just talking about literally everything, you know. Even our time got extended because, I mean, wow, guys, I couldn't just, like, I still wanted more, and I was still wanting so many questions, you know, but time is time and time is money. So yeah, please don't forget to tell us about all your new projects. If you got a new project, DM us on @Makalela Music on all our social media platforms. But for today, that is it, and I'm saying goodbye. See you guys next week.
Every time you're smiling back at me, in my sky, the only star I see, never in forever. Could I ever measure what this could be? So why don't you come closer to me? Feel my heartbeat. Find me. it perfect. Don't you go away from me. You're my rhythm, you're my beat. You're the soul in my music. So baby, won't you come